buddy. How's it going?
I'm good, buddy. How are you? Welcome, not you, welcome. You're already
Welcome.
here. Welcome, everybody else, to Bacon, No Bacon, presented proudly, I hope, by the Comedy Here
We
Often
are
Network.
presented, and we are on the Comedy Here Often Network. Check them out on all the social medias at, God, what's their social media? Do you remember? Comedy
Comedy Here Often Network.
at Comedy
Here
Often.
Often. For all of your Canadian comedy
Yeah,
needs.
a lot of great stuff on there. We're on there. Dude, I really enjoy, I'm getting used to these online things, except your fucking screen keeps screwing up here. I don't understand it. You getting notifications on your end on your phone?
No.
No? Nothing? Okay. We'll just roll with it, I guess.
I did not put it on Do Not Disturb, though. Sorry about that. I forgot to do
That might be it. Sometimes your screen just pops into different, just like explodes or gets really small, and then I got to refix it and then transition. All right, okay, different story. He's already tired. He's yawning. Different story. Change the topic. All
you
right.
bore me with your technical difficulties.
Let's move on.
How's your week been, buddy?
Good,
We're trying to double up this week to try to catch up to the mostly for the football picks. That was my motivation.
The motivation.
So attempt to get those out before Sunday, but it may not happen. Abdul has a lot. It's a lot of, just so everybody knows, I show up, I talk into this microphone, and slip my phone into this little holder, and then everything else is Abdul. So the little piggy, the music you hear, any insert into it's all Abdul. I am zero technical responsibility. So I'm proud of you, buddy. I'm proud.
Oh, thanks for your encouragement.
The least I could do was try to do some other stuff.
There you go.
And also, so people know too, there are Bacon No Bacon t-shirts available right now at dereksegan.com, because we still have not built baconnobacon.com, which is we bought it. I'm working on the content. I predict by January there will be a full-on operational website. But for now, if you want a Bacon No Bacon t-shirt, Abdul and I would be happy to send it to you. dereksegan.com in the store.
For all your Bacon No Bacon t-shirt needs, if you're cold, we have no sweaters.
Buy two t-shirts.
Buy two t-shirts, yeah. Just fucking roll up in a
Layers.
pile of t-shirts.
That's what it is. Canadian winter, it's all about layers.
It is all about layers. It's not bad out there today. Today we got our snowfall. We've got a little bit of snow. Are you excited? You're not happy? You down? How do you feel, man?
Tell
me.
I find every year that go by, as we may have discussed last episode, I just had another birthday recently, and every year that go by, I have less and less physical tolerance for the cold. I find it hurts me almost when I go outside. And I guess because I have the beden and I'm getting fatter or whatever. When when you sit down, your shirt right up in the back, so my lower back naked touches my car seat, and I'm like, tabarnak, seat warmers don't warm up fast enough.
You should wear one of those sweaters around your waist and just tie it around your waist so that it covers your ass, your back ass.
Man spanks, so I always have a second skin or something. Good old man spanks.
The old man spanks. I don't even know. Is that a thing? Women wear spanks on their back, on their lower back?
It's like the new girdle, right? They wear them to keep everything looking tight in this area.
They wear that? That's a thing?
And they have them for men now too, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the ones for men, I think you wear it like a t-shirt, like an undershirt, but it's very like made of nylon around the
Is it like one of those Under Armour shirts that the cyclists wear?
Maybe.
Spandex? They wear the spandex and
I guess it's based on that principle, I guess.
All right, I didn't know that. That's a thing that men are wearing now? Jeez, we've got a fucking weird world out there.
Vain men, I guess.
Vain?
Well, vain, like people, vanity, people with vanity.
I don't know, man. Dude, I don't know. I don't think I have anything that's vanity-wise, really, I guess, in that sense. Well, I probably do. I just don't really... No. What would be a vanity thing?
You lost your dignity years ago. Mirrors are a sign of vanity.
Mirrors, yeah.
Like when you have mirrors all over your house and you're constantly
looking in the mirror.
We've got 2 mirrors
in the whole place. We've got 2 mirrors.
What else would be a vain?
Vanity. I guess like no, I don't know what else would be what is the meaning of the word vanity? I don't even know that.
You really?
Yeah,
like
what's
when
the
you're
meaning?
you're too self-involved.
I know what a vanity light.
No. When vanity is the mortal sin where you just want to look good and be good and think too much of yourself. When you think too much of yourself.
Oh, really? That's what it means. So then, why do we call it like vanity?
The opposite of humility.
Here we go.
The opposite of humble.
Excessive pride in or admiration of one's own appearance or achievements.
Yeah.
The quality of being worthless or futile is also another meaning. The quality of being worthless or futile.
That's the opposite.
Yeah, that's the opposite.
Yeah.
How does that? So it just means it means the complete opposite, whichever way you want to use it. Okay.
No, I think that may be the antonym. If it's in the online, like a dictionary definition, it would be they're giving you the antonym of vanity.
Maybe, but it says vanity, and then it says number one is excessive pride in or admiration of one's own appearance, and 2, the quality of being worthless or futile. Oh, okay, so it's just vanity. It's like you were saying, the way you used it. Like, it's like, you don't really need it. It's one of those things that you kind of... Futility. Similar words. Pointless or uselessness. I don't know. I guess maybe we're getting too into
that second,
into the
number 2 does not compute.
Does not make sense,
as vanity, no. Because the opposite
Google's
of vanity
wrong, buddy.
would be humility.
Yeah.
So the opposite of vain is humble.
Well, it's fucking teaching me some stuff, man. I got to get that online course. It's fucking online course with Derek Seguin. Online English.
Language.
English is a
I'm starting to
second
learn
language.
that my vocabulary is pretty good for a French guy. It's pretty good. I remember catching Mitch Gallo. Do you know Mitch Gallo?
Radio dude.
TSN. TSN.
Yeah.
I was on with them one time, and he was like, "Oh, if I would have known your show was coming, and I would have bought in tickets before it sold out." And I'm like, I'm French, and I'm pretty sure "botten" is not a word. And they play that all the time now because they like to take the piss out of little Mitchie. So
That's hilarious.
Melnick plays that all the time when I called him on a grammatical error, and he's a
I would
professional
have bought
English.
tickets. That's
tickets.
funny because if you hear someone say it fast enough, you just go, "Yeah, okay, that makes sense." But when you really break it down, you're like, "That's not a word."
Yeah, because it sounds the same as gotten. Like I would have gotten.
I would have bought some tickets. Yeah,
got.
Kind of sounds like if you say it fast enough, you catch people. That's so Derek. The listeners are going to be very curious when they see your mug on the television set. This is going to be. You
Starting
are now
today.
the poster boy of stay at home during the holidays for the Quebec government.
Christmas is canceled. Brought to you by
Christmas
Derek Seguin.
is canceled, and they put Derek Seguin on there. So, what was that like, man? How was the old? I think we talked about it. Didn't we talk about it? We talked about that. And now it's out.
Because
Now
I'd done the shoot.
Off.
Now it's out. Now the commercial is out. But that, it felt like a regular commercial shoot. And then every so often I'm realizing what the message at hand was. And at the time that we were shooting it, we were actually shooting in case we were allowed to have those 24 to 27, which the government had played with. Yeah. So we made spots that would announce that. But then by the day after we finished shooting, the government was like, no, we can't. Our numbers are still going up. We're going to have to just no gatherings allowed. And so we had a spot shot for that contingency plan. What's up, buddy? You look like you're on
I'm
acid.
trying to get my camera to fucking... Sorry, buddy. I'm getting my cameras like... now it's back in focus. Go ahead. Sorry. I was trying to get it to focus, and I was doing all sorts of weird stances. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to be distracting there. It's just my fucking thing wasn't focusing. I don't know. I got to check my camera settings. I feel like it's set to focus on everything but me.
I should have got myself a backup coffee, too. God damn it.
Fucking Derek, always never prepared. Okay, so that's cool, man. You got the commercial. You guys, you did it. You're doing it on radio as well, or just TV?
Yeah. So listen and watch for it. All Canadian TV networks and all English.
On all
Quebec,
the networks.
Quebec-based.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Quebec-based English radio stations.
Right.
You should
it's
be
going to be
hearing.
Quebec only. Okay, so it's not like nationwide. That's too bad. That would have been
Well,
nice.
on TV, because like how on TV we got, like on our cable package, we will have CTV Montreal, CTV, Ottawa.
Yeah.
So I guess nationwide, people will see it. And for the francophone side, and I think every city in Canada runs Quebec-based programming for the francophones across the country.
Across Canada, yeah.
So,
so it'll be in every French community across Canada.
Right. So, no, I won't be. François Bellefeuille did the francophone version. I did the anglophone version. So mine will be only on people that are watching, say, like if you're in Vancouver, but you want to watch your show 3 hour early or whatever, 3 hour late.
Yeah, so you watch the Montreal CBC.
You watch the
feed.
Montreal CBC or CTV or whatever. Then, so
we'll catch
in that regard, it's nationwide. But
that's cool, man. So that's awesome, man. That's a very cool thing.
I feel it keeps it light. I mean, they were asking me at one point, do you have trouble, like, are you okay attaching your brand to this message? And I was like, no, man, I want the best for my compatriots, my fellow citizens. I have no trouble saying, please follow the measures. I mean, do I agree with the measures specifically all the time? No, but I feel the message is, let's not lose hope during these to enjoy the holidays without being reckless.
As the ambassador of the movement to stay at home during the holidays.
Holy shit.
What the hell is going on? We've got a presidential alert.
Holy
Public
shit.
health emergency in effect. All public and private gatherings remain prohibited in red zones. Derek, are you there? Yeah, I just saw that. How fucking eerie was that? Right as we got as we started talking about the health, it's apparently Quebec is in a pandemic right now.
Seriously. Yeah, emergency alert that don't
That's
see
crazy.
Anybody. See, now that message was a little extreme that I wouldn't attach my brand to.
No, I'm surprised a little logo of your face didn't pop up on there and say...
Can you see me? Because I can't see you anymore. No, can you see me?
I can see you.
That's the important part. You're the one running.
Hold on a second. Maybe I got... No, I'm on there. Are you there?
All right.
You can't see me.
I'm here, but I don't see you. No, I see your little icon or whatever. Enable background blur. Allow incoming video. Yes. Turn subtitles on. No. Still recording.
We've got some technical difficulties, everybody. Well, that was weird.
Yeah,
we just got
that was weird.
Cut off by this presidential update. The presidential update
alerts.
was letting us...
We both got alerts at the same time. Yours is about America. Mine was about Canada.
Yeah, it was... but it did say Quebec. Jesus. COVID.
Sorry.
COVID. Hawaii. Desinfect solo. Yeah, no, that was weird. So, it was weird. It was for a Quebec message.
Today is Wednesday, December 9th. So most of you will have gotten this alert on your phone in Quebec anyway.
Yeah, that was weird, right as we were recording.
Reminding us in a very extremely panicked way that gatherings are illegal in Quebec.
Okay, now this is what I was about to ask you.
Way to get that out.
I was about to ask, it was weird how it just happened at the same time. But I was about to ask you, as the ambassador of staying at home during the holidays.
Of canceling Christmas.
I would like to know your thoughts and opinions on the large gathering in Grenville, Quebec. Did you see that on the news?
No.
There was a house full of, actually looked like a barn full of people who just partied, I guess. They were all together partying, and then they did like a video take, and they did like a countdown, and then they all gave the finger to the camera at the same time saying, fuck you, Legault.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they were, and apparently
And they didn't get caught? There was no raid or anything?
Oh, no, the cops, now because the video's out, they posted the video in the hopes that it would go viral and people would be on their side. And now the cops are taking this video and identifying everybody in it and ticketing them $1,000 each.
Wow.
So, yes.
And then whoever owns the barn could be fined up to $15,000.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know how that's going to happen, but definitely, yeah, they fucking were partying and having a good time and trying to
Wow.
defy the government and thinking that they were going to what they were doing was cool, man.
Well, no. So I don't.
No, you as the ambassador, we need a few words for you to give to the people listening. What?
I don't condone that behavior. I do think the government is. Listen, this is a unprecedented
Time
situation.
in life?
So, yeah, sorry that Angela was trying to call me. I don't know
Yeah,
how
just
unlucky we're going to be on this, but it's an unprecedented situation. So the way that the government, I to this point, I can't say that I fault François Legault. I don't agree with everything, every measure, every
something's
initiative. But I mean, what do I know? I don't know any. Like we all
was
are
just being
living this
sarcastic.
for the first time. He has access to information that I don't have access to. So the bottom line is I earnestly believe that he and his government are doing their best. Will they make mistake? Of course, it's never before seen stuff. So recklessly gathering and giving the finger to the government. I mean, they're not doing this to make you angry. If anything, how brave are they for taking these measures when they know in advance how unpopular it will be politically? So to make these decisions that could jeopardize their future re-election, I mean, shows that they earnestly care about their citizens more than they do about their own political careers. So I have to credit them with that.
Yeah, I agree with you. That is a good point. Cause
On the flip side, I feel like these measures, and we've mentioned this before on the podcast, many of these measures are really targeting that bottom 5% of reckless, ignorant, like these people that believe it's all a hoax and it's bullshit and I don't care, or vain people that don't care about other people. It's all about themselves.
Yeah.
So you've got to make these regulations that tackle the problem that the bottom 5% of the population is creating. And so everyone have to suffer because of these people. Now, if you were to tell me that the person that created this gathering or party, whatever, made sure that every person isolated 5 days before, went for a COVID test 5 days before, and then isolated before going to this party, took everybody's temperature when they got there, tried to keep people generally socially distanced.
Made an effort to not
Made an effort
spread.
to, then I would say, it's not going to be popular, and hopefully this doesn't jeopardize my chance for follow-up campaigns with the
you are the ambassador.
with the government.
Please choose your words carefully as the ambassador.
But if you're cautious about it, I mean, bending the rules because you're cautious and not taking part in that reckless behavior that's causing the numbers to stay stable or increase. On s'entend that, like François Legault himself every day is around in proximity to people, his assistants, his security,
they are in contact with a lot of people.
But we assume they're taking over and above
One
minimum
would hope,
precautions, as opposed to like Donald Trump and his cohorts. Right, every day we're hearing about a new Trump person getting COVID, Giuliani being the last one.
I wonder if he'll survive.
Anyway,
you think he'll survive? You think he'll make it? You think Giuliani's got the antibodies to fight this thing?
From what I heard, he doesn't even have crazy symptoms yet. So
okay, so he'll be fine. He'll be all right.
Another thing is I've heard through the grapevine from people that I know that work in healthcare that the test results, the positive. It's to the point where I've started looking at only the hospitalization and fatality numbers.
Yeah.
Because there's so many, like you have it, but you're not sick. Who gives a shit? And now I've been told, because again, I'm not a scientist, but coronavirus is a type of virus.
Yeah.
And this particular one is called COVID-19. But there's
multiple COVIDs.
Hundreds of coronaviruses. And apparently many of these tests that have been set up for screening and whatever, are set at a sensitivity level that is generally double and triple what the industry or the healthcare norm would be set at to detect a specific type of virus. So people they're testing positive, like that are completely asymptomatic, Like it happened this weekend to Des Bryant in Baltimore. He's a wide receiver for the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
He's there. Everyone's followed the protocols. He had one test that was inconclusive on the day of the game, like an hour before the game. He's warming up and everything, and there's like, oh, your test that you did on Tuesday was inconclusive. Come and do another test. They do another test. Fast track it, the results right away, to get the results right away. No, you're positive. So 2 days ago, it was inconclusive. He's following all the protocols, and now he's got one that's positive. From what I'm hearing from some people that understand the science way more than I do, the tests have a sensitivity level that is set too high. That, yes, so many people will have coronavirus present in their blood.
It's not the COVID-19 specific. Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
But at these sensitivity levels, the tests will show positive, and then, the statistic gets.
I agree with that, but you know what? The sad part about that is why people are undermining it, because they go, "Well, I knew a guy that got." Like I know that a guy that happened to. He got it. He tested positive. He was at a bar. A buddy of mine he went to a bar. They had a whole it was like a get together or whatever. They got together. A friend of mine actually slept at his house. Went home. Two days later, he started getting symptoms. Went for his test, was positive, and everybody else he came into contact with, nobody else tested positive. They all went for their tests. They all panicked. They all freaked out. And then they all went for their tests, and they all turned out negative. But now I find a lot of them are just undermining the problem, because now they go, well, if he had it and nobody else got it, it ain't that bad. As opposed to just understanding maybe that was the case like you're suggesting, that he
and maybe he got it the next morning as he was leaving, grabbed the doorknob right after somebody else and got it then.
Yeah. And, I don't know, but I'm just saying in that sense, it does make people downplay it, because they were in an instance where they realized someone was tested positive, but they didn't really have symptoms or nothing happened to them. So they're like, this virus is fake. So I think that's not a good thing to take into account as well, because people are starting to undermine it just because they know somebody or they heard that someone got it and it's sensitive. And so it's obviously hard to stay on top of it and not have a screwed up test result, but I don't know, man. And
just based on the positive test result numbers, there comes a point where we can only be as vigilant as we can be without having serious emotional, mental, economic repercussions. So
well, that's the thing, is the longer we keep screwing around, the longer we're going to keep digging this hole, as opposed to if we would have locked up right away and just stayed put and not kept doing things, and it would have, look at the Maritimes. They were doing stand-up shows up until 2-3 weeks ago. People were still able to.
I know.
So
sad.
They did it for a while, and they were good. So I think if everyone did it, we'd be all right. We'd be able to open, and restaurants could have people come in, and you could do stand-up still. So the fact that
they shut down though because of one party, they've shut down now.
Well, yeah, because it started to spread again. But if everybody just took it seriously and didn't not take it seriously, then we'd be in a better place, I think, and we wouldn't be getting fucking alerts on our cell phones in the middle of a podcast.
The day, to
just stay indoors.
And what was I gonna say? The science isn't even there. Say new, mandatory shutdown, like nuclear holocaust. No one can see anybody for 2 weeks. In theory, it would be gone. But the science doesn't even show so when you recover from COVID-19, right, you have antibodies that your own body just fought it off and won by the end. And so you have the antibodies. We don't even know for certain that even once your body has developed the antibodies to combat it, are you still possibly contagious?
Well, it's so new. Later. There's no way to know. You have to study it. And the fact that it's so new, there's no study. So I get why we need to be patient. And everyone's like, well, let us fucking open up. The government's trying to. And it's like, no, they're trying to. The perfect example is everybody who goes, everybody, a lot of the people that say, well, this virus ain't nothing, it doesn't do anything, there's no way it can harm you, it doesn't do nothing. And then now that there's a vaccine, they go, oh yeah, fuck, you think I'm going to put that in my body? Think I'm going to put that shit in my body that's been around for fucking 2 months? They have no idea what... Well, why are you so not scared of a virus that's only been around for fucking 7-8 months? But a vaccine, you're like, oh fuck, you think I'm going to put that in my body? What about the vaccine? What about the virus? Like the virus, nobody knows shit about. But you're not worried.
I think I can at least respond to that question from my own perspective.
Yeah.
And especially coming from me, a guy that's put very questionable things in my body for 30 years.
And continues, I'm sure.
Yeah. But I mean, that's my choice, and I kind of understand it. And, like even, we don't want to get into the details, but like food, there's foods that I know are not the best for me. McDonald's being a great example. Mm-hmm. I know this is shit that I'm putting in my body that has so much bullshit in it, but I do it. Personally, having read as much as I've read about the coronavirus, this COVID-19 coronavirus, I'm not deathly afraid of it. I've had illnesses. I had pneumonia last year. I'm more reluctant. Given the choice right now, given the choice for me, I know this isn't going to be popular. Given the choice right now, a person that's not in fantastic health, specifically lung-wise, cardio,
horrible
pulmonary,
lungs on that guy right there.
Right. Given the choice right today between you can either have the vaccine or you can get coronavirus, I would choose get coronavirus.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Over the vaccine. So you trust a virus that's only been out for 10
I trust
10,
my body's
10 months?
ability. I trust my body's ability to combat it more than I trust a vaccine. And these vaccines will inevitably, like there's flu vaccines that are like a cocktail that will combat hundreds of strain of flu.
Yeah.
So the COVID-19 one will be one more that they will add probably to the seasonal flu vaccine. I honestly believe that the human body is such a miraculous vessel that unless you are in a predisposed, which people could say that as a heavy smoker
or a
and somebody
vulnerable
with weak lung capacity.
Position, I guess. So vulnerable health-wise, health position.
And then there again, there's another, for my children, for instance, give them the virus or the vaccine. I would probably, it's weird, it's not a favorite thing, but I think for Reese and Andy, I would say give them the virus. Jamie, because of that recent food allergy and how sick she got so quickly, I would maybe give Jamie the vaccine, and at the same time as that, I feel she's a little bit more vulnerable. It's also I'll pick my least favorite kid to test to see if it's safe for the rest of us. No, that's not it. But so there you go. So it's but I honestly do believe in the human bodies. Listen, the human body is so miraculous.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, the human body can't fight off AIDS on its own. It can't fight off Ebola.
In some people it can. In some people it can.
It can't fight off Ebola and all that. It can't fight everything. The human body...
In some people it can. Not
but
everybody
I think that's
dies of Ebola.
The point with this is that some people get it and they have no clue why they're getting sicker than than others. Even they have a perfect bill of health, but they still somehow get much sicker. So...
I understand.
I think that's where people are a little bit panicky and the doctors are freaked out because they're like, well, we don't get it. So we need to study this more. So in the meantime, sit the fuck home because we don't know enough about this thing yet. So I think that's where they're at with that. But
I think even those numbers are very low. Like 1% of the hospitalization or fatality. I guess the fatality is the really big one. But like say, so from ICU to... passed away from it, only 1% of those people have zero explanation as to why they got it so bad. So it's a fluke. It's a fluke that could be, it's the numbers wise, and specifically global numbers wise, it's a fluke as common as why did that person get struck by lightning? It's that uncommon when somebody with
is
otherwise
it that uncommon? I don't know. I'm not that.
It is. It's quite uncommon.
Okay.
That not to contract it and not to get sick, but to end up ICU and on the verge of death, like those people that are being put into induced comas and things like that. Like a good example was Georges Larac.
Yeah.
Remember when he got it?
That's a good example, yeah.
On his ass, whatever, but he's made a full recovery now. I mean, long term, who knows? They're saying that in the long term, it's quite possible that people will have pulmonary problems that they otherwise wouldn't have had. But there's no reason to think that somebody who's in the gym 5 days a week and that, is in otherwise good physical health, that his lungs, if they did get damaged during the coronavirus, that they'll regenerate a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Like even as heavy smokers, they say, as long as you haven't gotten your lungs to a point of no return, which there is a point, and I'm not certain if I'm there or not. I haven't, my last lung chest x-ray showed that I'm not past. But I mean, it's, you abuse something long enough, it'll be my own fault if I am, whatever. But the numbers are still very low. For those that are getting deathly ill or dying with zero pre-existing vulnerability, the number is very low. It's like 1 in 800,000 or something like that. So again, not to say that, I think it's like 1 in 5 Canadian have some sort of pre-existing condition.
I'm sure that there's a
you would fall in that category. I may even fall in that category. You know what I mean? For your previous lung complication, your father certainly fall in that category. Reese would probably fall in that category, having had asthma as a kid. I'd say Mike Ward, he's diabetic. He definitely fall in that. So I mean, there's 1 in 5 Canadian that are already that would fall in the category of pre-existing condition. So those 4 other people, what I'm saying is, from the numbers that I've been reading, you have like a less than 1% chance of getting deathly ill if you're one of those 4 Canadians.
I think the thing is the spreading is what they're worried about afterwards.
Because veux pas, if it's 1 in 5 Canadian, if it keeps spreading, those 1 in 5 are gonna get it.
That's it.
But by that same rationale, though, it also justifies why, if you are in this more vulnerable category, all the more extreme reason for you to isolate for sure. Don't be a dink and say deny that it exists or whatever. You have to be careful. My mother, anybody over 65, these are all people that fall in this category that I'm talking to you about, And let's be honest, that's the biggest group in Canada right now. The baby boomer.
That's it. Yeah, they are
the biggest. So,
and then I guess the other thing too to keep in mind is that you're overwhelming the hospitals. So if you have to go in for anything else, you will have a hard time because they're going to be too full. So I think it's a question of, like, even if you just go in for a broken limb, now it's going to be a hell of a fucking ordeal just to get around.
Well, that's another myth. Let me stop you there. That is another myth, because the COVID wings are working on that. They've been,
but they've canceled surgeries in the past, and
they have because they want to keep those resources, but optional
and also
surgeries.
Doctors don't want to be in the hospitals. You don't want your surgeons in the hospitals while they're treating COVID.
And the protocols that have been put in place. So like my buddy Jay, who got the open heart surgery, his surgery was delayed. Like you said, it was delayed because of the protocols. His doctor had to isolate for 14 days before he was allowed to start conducting surgeries again. You know what I mean? Because he took vacation, and that was just they want to be 100% vigilant and careful. So he took 2 weeks vacation. And the hospital has a questionnaire. Were you in contact with any other human being? And yes, I was. Okay, well, then you have to isolate for 14 days before you're allowed to do surgery again. So that's why it's all these deaths that are because of COVID, but not necessarily of COVID. You know what I mean?
But they're still affected
there's so many repercussions
from COVID.
And like you said, you nailed it. It's all these measures are 95% motivated by trying to prevent the spread, say, the overbearing and collapse of the healthcare system, more than anything else, more than even, it sounds insensitive to say, more even than saving lives. It's about preventing the collapse of the healthcare system. Because if we think about it honestly, unless we can eradicate it somehow, which it feels impossible to have every human being isolate for 14 days and not be in contact with any other human being for 14 days, barring that, there's no way to eradicate this virus.
Yeah.
So these measures allow us to stagger the cases so that the healthcare system can accommodate the demand for the
That's
thing.
it, yeah.
So that the one biggest complaint I have with the media and the governments is that they're not forthcoming and honest
They're
to tell people
definitely
that's
not
why we're doing
honest.
this.
That's a good point, because I find a lot of people. I mean, I watch a lot of news, so I find I have I'm able to like weed out through the fucking bullshit. You know, when they say something, you know, politicians, they say something and you're kind of like, oh, I know why they're saying that. But they don't say it.
Yeah.
The general public needs to hear it. Like, they need to hear what, like, even the fact when they're like, we're going to lock down for 28 days or for 2 weeks. And no, stop it. Tell them the truth.
Right.
But the problem is the general public, if you tell them the truth, they fucking panic. They have no idea how to handle themselves, or just breathe. Just fucking breathe.
And there's and then there's a certain portion of the population that the bare bones honest truth will make them panic. And then there's yet another portion of the population, I would say, you know, the bottom 10% in terms of intellectual quotient, who will not understand and call bullshit and like, oh, look at them with their politico talk trying to fucking tell us. No, okay, sorry, we shouldn't have mentioned the word science there, Cletus. And that got you all fucking skeptical about the message. So it feel like, again, I feel that's what it make the message clear for those that can handle the message.
Make the message clear.
But I mean, from a political standpoint or from a leader standpoint, you're never, no matter what you do,
you're never going to win.
Everybody.
That's why it's a very tough situation. Like, I got to say, man, politicians are in a sticky spot. But I mean, for the ones that are not doing anything, they're idiots. Like, fucking, like, look at Alberta now. Alberta is putting in measures and trying to get people to stay home and all that. Now they're doing it. Now after,
because it exploded.
Now after it exploded and it's way past the point of return. Now all of a sudden, Jason Kenney's fine with telling people, you know, to follow the guidelines and do everything that they should be doing.
Yeah.
So it's like, you have to look at those people in hindsight and say they are not fit to lead, because if they undermine something for so long, and then once it gets out of hand and it's no longer containable and it's a mess and now everyone has to shut down, now they're telling you to do it. As opposed to from the start, if you look at the Maritimes, when they did it right away, everyone was still able to stay open. Restaurants were able to stay open. Bars were open. So
it's a good point, because it's kind of inexcusable when it's not just the rest of your country. The entire planet is taking extreme measures, and you just decide, man, we're good.
So exactly, and then the numbers just blow up so big that you can't even contain it anymore, and you're cornered. Your back's up against a wall. So clearly, the best message from the start is follow the guidelines, because if it wasn't, then you wouldn't have provinces with outbreaks, and now they changed their stance to follow the guidelines. So it baffles me how anyone could even have that point of view of trying to say that it's all fake, or you don't need to worry, or all that shit. I don't get it, because it doesn't make any sense. If you just look at all those places that went out of control, they all changed their fucking tone once they realized we're screwed. We've let it go too far. Now we all have to shut down.
And the relatively intelligent and grown-ups that have discerning minds are able to recognize that a lot of these guidelines are put in place
so we can keep our way of life.
A little bit further than what logic would maybe dictate, because of those people.
Right?
We have to put it like
this. We gotta baby the rules. Yeah, we gotta make it extra extreme. When we do this. So so people who don't follow anything can at least follow some little bits of it,
and keep them clear, right? So somebody that's super diligent, washing their hands, wearing the mask, whatever, in the government's mind, even that person that's doing that, we allow them to go into a restaurant. Then you got fucking Yahoo, Flat Earth, fucking Ding Dong come in and sneeze all over fucking Shirley, who's been so careful. See, so they're trying to minimize the contacts without collapsing the economy.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, it would be terrible if the healthcare system, the global healthcare system, collapsed because it's a multi-trillion-dollar business. But no one wants the global economy to collapse either. So they're trying to pick and choose. Again, they're doing their best.
Yeah, I think that's the end result. Everyone, mostly.
And as a sort of hired gun spokesperson to circle back to how this even got started, I have no trouble attaching my brand to telling people be careful. And if I may say, I have to commend, and this will sound like I'm petting my own bretelle there, I'm showing off, whatever. I have to commend the government of Quebec during this. It's quite serious. This situation is quite serious. It's life ruining for many people, like people that have lost their businesses, their restaurants, their bars, their storefront. To have hired a comedian of my renown, say of my reputation, that's kind of all over the place, to bring a little bit of lightheartedness and levity to the message at hand, which is please be careful, Quebecois people. We don't want this to get worse. I have to give it to them. They could have shied away from that and been like, in the rewrite, sometime I would propose a little joke here, a little joke there. Some of them I think are going to get through. For instance, at first they had one of the scripts said, I come on and say, hi, my name is Derek Sege, full-time comedian and stay-at-home dad. And I said, it would be funny if I said, hi, this is Derek Sege, stay-at-home dad and pre-COVID comedian. And they were like, yeah, okay, let's give that a shot. I don't know if it will make it, but they were open to
trying something.
Pre-COVID comedian has a little bit of tongue-in-cheek, say, making light a little bit of our situation. But I think that was pretty open-minded for a government to be able to say, yeah, okay, we could consider that.
Yeah, I wonder what the other provincial guideline commercials are. Have they gone to? I don't know why more people didn't turn to comedians. Comedians should not be out of work. Like, this is the most gloomy time of our history that we've been on this planet. I think it's a perfect time for everybody to be hiring a comedian to fucking do a commercial or do something. Like, shouldn't everything be funny right now?
To answer that question, I don't know if you saw the federal equivalent of these spots that I did.
Is the one with Teresa Tam, the very stern,
that's
very
one,
hilarious Teresa Tam telling us to wash our hands.
That's one of them. And then they have another one that's an animated thing. They've got the guy on the bike and,
Okay, I don't know if I saw
it. Very safe, very, not even actors, right? Just an animation that show life represented the way we're living now, but trying to make it look as normal as possible, that there's a guy riding his bike and somebody going to work and just keeping our social distance and that, wearing masks and everything. So again, compared to what we're seeing, I haven't seen many of the other provinces. I think I saw one Ontario one where it was a medical officer saying do this, do that, like the Teresa Tam one. I gotta hand it to, even though it sounds like I'm saying this because I personally benefited from it, because let's be honest, I did get paid to do these things. I didn't do it out of the goodness of my heart. But I have to give them credit for being willing to make a little bit light. I didn't make a joke out of it. I'm not saying, but to let the message come across in a little bit of a lighthearted way. We're all in this. We're all doing this together. We're all aware of the situation. There's no point in trying to over-dramatize it. Yeah. It's like, this is the thing. Here I am. I'm trying to put a positive spin on everything by saying like, oh, look, you don't have to see your stupid family for Christmas.
Yeah.
And, it's obviously tongue-in-cheek. I obviously love my family. I talk shit about them all the time on stage, but you know me well enough to know that I do care for them.
Yeah, except for Jamie. You want her to get the virus.
Yeah, she's the family guinea pig.
Or the vaccine, give her the vaccine. Try it out. Poor kid.
Yeah.
It's like, do you get her to test all the food before anyone eats at first too? This is sat out in the counter for a while. Jamie, can you try this and see if it's still good? It's past the expiry date. Jamie! She's just the go-to tester for everything at the old Sege household.
Just to be certain, everyone knows we're kidding. I love my daughter. Jamie's my firstborn.
There you
She
go,
will
the
always have a
firstborn.
special place.
They're always the fucking testers.
Always the most disposable.
Test them out.
You've already had the most experience.
But no, it's well, good for you, man. I'm happy to see you on that commercial. It's very it's a good job.
Hopefully take it for how it's meant.
I hope we
everybody
see
involved
more,
that I spoke to.
Yeah, I hope we see more of this.
The spirit of it is well intentioned. On the one hand, we're not making a joke about any of it, not the virus and not the measures. And on the other side, we're trying, we being the government of Quebec, is trying this. Is it the best solution? That remains to be seen. Every new policy or regulation is all in an effort to get to the end of this as fast as we
hopefully,
can.
yeah.
So
well,
I may have been the spokesperson for the message. I have no trouble attaching my brand to it, my name. Is it, in 2 years retrospectively, was it the best thing we could have done? I don't know. Just like François Legault doesn't know, just like Justin Trudeau
nobody's going to know until this is all done.
Just like Donald Trump doesn't care. It's all, we're just doing our best. We're all doing our best. I want, I tease Abdul about not wanting to covertly meet me for whatever, hand him a T-shirt or whatever. But I understand. He loves his father. The thought that he could possibly make his father sick is enough to say, fuck it, I don't want to see anybody. I respect that. I completely respect it.
Yeah, I haven't been by. We don't fucking... First of all, I don't know if you know this. You live far. I don't know if...
also
it's
that.
far. It's crazy. Like, when I was filming the South Shore video that I did, I had no time. Like, I was even thinking about it. I'm like, fuck, should I see if Derek's home? Actually, the week that I went there, the day I went there, you were in Ottawa. Right. But then when I went to St. Constant, I think I was around that area, and I was thinking, I'm like, fuck, I got so many different spots to go film, so I didn't have a chance. But to go out to the South Shore, I was like, it's far, like 45 minutes. Yeah, it's pretty far if you think.
True story. The only time I've ever popped in to say hello to you is if I'm on my way to Toronto or Ottawa or something. I'm like, all right, I've already done an hour. Might as well stop in and say hi to Abdul or Chad. Like Chad, I only ever see him if I'm already going to Ottawa.
Yeah, and he's even farther. Yeah, it's like, what, an hour at least. It's far. It is, but it isn't, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's different. When you're in LA, it's annoying because it's like 20 minutes and you're only fucking 2 miles down the road.
2 miles, yeah.
But at least here you do some distance in the amount of time that you've been in the car. Sometimes when there's no traffic. I got to say, I'm pretty disgusted about the Turcotte. Have you driven by the Turcotte yards, man? The new construction, all the fucking...
Yeah, it looks impressive. The train
It looks
part
impressive,
is going up,
but there's fucking graffiti everywhere already.
I know.
Like, everywhere.
I know.
What the fuck?
And not even nice ones.
No, just ugly. Like, who are these people? Are you trying to get is someone going to notice your bubbly letters and just think, oh man, they're going to handpick you out of the bunch of the world of graffiti artists? And
I always thought there was a code of conduct for graffiti people, right? I don't know if you've ever noticed coming to my house.
I think it's more gangs that are doing the graffiti on the thing, I imagine.
But graffitiing over other graffiti apparently is a no-no. If you remember back to
because then you get
that movie Breakin'?
Killed, buddy. You can't graffiti over graffiti.
So they I don't know if you ever noticed driving to my house.
Spray paint you in the eyes.
They have new walls or whatever for when they redid the Champlain Bridge. They built
the sound barriers.
When they widened the road or whatever, and they commissioned the actual artists to come and spray paint artwork on the thing, and it stayed pristine for like a year. And now fucking graffiti artists are tagging. It's just their names, whatever, tagging over top of this quite beautiful artwork. Many of these pieces are really nice.
I don't understand the graffiti.
Canada geese.
Yeah.
Canada geese.
Wow.
But so it's a flat surface, but they have, the perspective from the side of Canada geese, and then you have the V, so each goose gets smaller and is a little bit blocked by part of another bird. Anyway, it's beautiful. And then you got some dickhead that comes and writes Momo on it. I don't understand.
Like, what is it with the underground world? Like, I want to talk to a graffiti artist or whoever's doing this. Like,
but I thought there was a code of conduct. You didn't hear about that?
I don't know. Do they have rules?
Even among criminals, there's
illegally on
honor
cement?
among thieves. You know what I mean? Like, you don't, like in the mafia, you never rat out, no matter what. Even if it's your bet, you don't rat.
Yeah, so you're not supposed to.
Graffiti people never graffiti over somebody else's graffiti.
Well, yeah, that's how you get fucking cut, buddy. You don't screw around like that. I don't know though. I wonder what it is. Like, what is the purpose though? Like, Do you think people are driving by and they see your bubbly letters and they go, there's fucking fatty or ferocious?
I have a buddy.
I don't know, some fucking...
If ever you see Sake written anywhere,
yeah, I see that a lot.
He's a close personal friend.
Well, tell him to stop
give you his
fucking
real identity.
graffitiing every fucking goddamn
He's
thing.
world famous though. He gets paid thousands of dollars to go to like fucking Holland.
Okay, so tell Saki to fucking go to Holland. What is Saki fucking writing shit for free on the side of the highway?
Yeah.
Tell Saki to fucking take his...
I don't get it. He is an odd
Take
bird.
his fucking spray cans over to fucking Sweden or wherever the hell they're going to hire him and just get paid for it, man. Stop fucking destroying the beautiful scene, the fucking nice artwork, all the cement they just put up, man, that nice fucking...
I know.
It's beautiful. And then you see all this graffiti everywhere and you're like, what the fuck is this? Like, why? Like,
but have you ever seen somebody doing it? I mean, it appears there. I've never
seen anyone do it. Yeah, I agree.
So they're pretty good.
Well,
like they're little. We should hire them as CSIS agents.
That, or maybe the cops should fucking do more than just sit in a bush with a fucking radar gun. Maybe they should be driving up and down there and fucking. I mean, just sit there and you're gonna see them. I mean, how hard is it?
I will sign that petition. That's it. They have speed traps to trap regular law-abiding citizens going 10 kilometers over the thing. They should just put up these slabs of concrete everywhere where they know it will be too much. I can't resist. I gotta paint it.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though there's cameras pointed at it, I can't not paint it. It's such new concrete.
Yeah, exactly how they always nail us with like a impromptu construction zone, and all of a sudden the limit goes from 100 to 50. And you've fucking been driving there for 7 years, and then all of a sudden it's 50, and you're like, whoa, when did this happen? And they fucking nail you with a ticket.
I've got 3 photo radar tickets in the last 2 months.
Yeah, because
in the same spot.
They're popping up.
Tashro.
You didn't know there was a camera there?
I guess I know because I got 3 of them, so I should remember. But Tashro, if you're from the South Shore, if you've ever been to the South Shore, Tashro is a 3-lane boulevard going both directions. For 99% of the fucking length of this thing, it's a 70 kilometer an hour limit.
Yeah.
There's a 500 meter portion of it.
Where they lower it.
On either side, heading toward the access ramp to get on the 15 to take the Champlain Bridge or to go to the Eastern Township, where they've lowered it to 50. And of course, les astis de cochons de mal put a camera right there. Yeah. So all 3 times that I got the ticket, I'm doing less than 70, but I'm doing like 67 or whatever. Because people that aren't idiot, forgetful asshole like me, they slow down, so I'm following traffic.
Yeah.
But 67, really?
Yeah,
67?
Dude. It's like...
Are you going to give me a ticket for that?
I got to do a video on that whole, I call it the Quebec Shuffle. There's always a scam. There's always a scam hidden somewhere in something in Quebec. I fucking see it all the time, and I'm like, oh, I know your game. Why am I'm trying to fucking... Jeez, there you go. We got it to focus.
And again, the 20 on the way out to your place, in the new part of the 20, they're coming out of the city. Yeah. It's a highway. Yeah. At some points, there's 5 lanes.
50 kilometer limit, though, buddy.
50.
Yeah, 50.
I'm pretty sure I could hit 50 on a good bicycle.
Yeah.
Tabarnak.
But that's what you better fucking do.
50 on this giant highway?
And they'll fucking hit you with a big ticket if you go over 50 on a highway.
Load.
Imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, Chad almost lost his license. He was doing 105, I think.
Insane. It's a highway.
But it turned out that... Yeah.
Even the fact that highways are 70, like, you're in DeCarry, like 70? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Everyone's going 100, and that's what it should be. 70?
Yeah, you ever try to go 70 on the DeCarry when there's no police?
You could die. Yeah. Fucking someone will cut you off and you go flying into the wall. It doesn't make any sense. Like, things with Quebec, it's the Quebec Shuffle. There's always something. They scam you, man. They're in it.
Yep.
What are you going to do? All right, buddy. What do we... Are we
do the picks?
Yeah, let's do the picks. Let's do the picks. Derek.
Just so everybody knows, I think Abdul is going to publish maybe in this episode my past results.
We're going to look at the past ones. Yes, we need the update from last week to see how many times you've lost. What's your win to loss ratio?
Last week may be the worst yet. Did I ever suck a dick last week? All the way down to last night's game. I picked so many losers on the weekend that I'm just going to go opposite of what I think. So I picked the Cowboys +9. because they had 9 points. And I'm like, maybe the Cowboys are going to keep up with Lamar Jackson this week. I don't know. I don't think they will, but I mean, everything else I've taught is wrong, so let's go for it. And inevitably, that's what I should have gone with my first instinct.
Man. And I don't know how you still do it, but
my last week was not a good week. Hopefully, this week we only put it up after the games happened. So if you lost money, it wasn't my fault. But this week you might anyway.
This week,
so here we go. Last week was not a good week.
Tread lightly, everybody. Tread lightly.
Abdul's gonna post, I think, 7 weeks worth of results
on the YouTube
wins
video,
versus losses. I have a few weeks that are 11-3, which is pretty good, or 11-4, 2 11-3s and 1 11-4. That's pretty good. I have a 10-5 in there, not bad. Last week was not that. But here we go. This week's games on Thursday night, we got the Patriots at Los Angeles Rams. The Patriots pulled out an impressive win last week, 45-0 against the other LA team, the Chargers. That was a decimation. I do think the Rams are sitting better than that, and I almost worry that the Patriots wasted too much good shit in that one game. So I'm going with the Rams to win this game. Although the Patriots will have been in Vancouver or in LA for 2 weeks because they didn't even go home. They just stayed there to isolate. I think this is going to be a very tight game, but I do have to give it to the Rams. Aaron Donald is going to get to Cam Newton one time, and then Cam Newton's going to he's going to have the Jimmy legs. He's going to be like, where is that guy? I'm afraid. So I go Rams over the Patriots. Then we get to Sunday. The Tennessee Titans had a heartbreaking loss. That was one of my picks that did not come in, and it was heartbreaking. They're meeting the very unfortunate Jaguars. They have had one of the hardest schedules this year, and their record shows it. They are hurting. They are at 1-11. I do not think this is going to be a win for the Jaguars. The Titans are going to handle that game. Although, that's what I said last week. The New York Jets were winless on the season. Hadn't won one game yet on the season. And they almost beat the Seattle Seahawks. No, wait. Where is it? The Giants beat the Seahawks. That's right. The Jets almost beat the Raiders. They hadn't won one game. The Jets almost beat the Raiders. And then the Redskins, who are also shit, had almost like they're fighting desperately in their terrible NFC East division for the playoffs with 5 wins going into the weekend. They only had 4 wins, and they beat the undefeated Steelers. So last week was a fluke. Yes, I sucked, but the whole league took a fucking hiccup last week, so it's not my fault. Sorry, that was too much time wasted on one game. So far, Rams over the Patriots, Titans over the Jaguars, Vikings at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks are due for a win. Don't like Kirk Cousins. They keep winning, but I'm going to take the Bucks over the Vikings in a tight game. Chiefs and Dolphins. Dolphins look fantastic. And I wish them well. I hope they make the playoffs, but the Kansas City Chiefs are really coming into their playoff stride. The Chiefs are going to handle the Dolphins, no matter how many points the Dolphins score, which I think they are second or third in the league in most points scored. The Chiefs will just score more. That's just the bottom line. Broncos, Panthers. The Panthers are due for some magical things. They keep their star Christian McCaffrey keeps getting hurt, but I think he's going to play this weekend, so I am taking the Panthers over the Broncos. That quarterback, Andrew Locke. Anyway, the Broncos' young quarterback, really good, but I think the Panthers are going to take it this week. Texans at Bears. The Bears are impossible to predict anything. Their defense is great. The Texans are due for a win. I'm pissed off at the Bears because they fucked me this week, so I'm going to take the Texans over the Bears out of pure emotion. There's no strategy here, but Texans over the Bears. Cardinals, New York Giants. New York Giants came up with a huge upset win last week. The Cardinals lost again. I think Kyler Murray is going to show the New York Giants really good defense that they're not quite good enough to keep up with this little firecracker. He's going to run all kinds. Bengals, Cowboys. Could there be a game that is more sad? Both teams lost their starting quarterback. Last night I watched Andrew Dalton look like a top-notch quarterback in the first half and then fall apart and everything went to shit. So who knows what Cowboys team is going to show up to this game. The Bengals just have no quarterback to speak of. So I'm going to go Cowboys over the Bengals. But I'm not going to bet on it because that's a scary thing. Colts, Raiders. Raiders totally came out so lucky last week. They're looking so... They're from one week to the next, so hard to see. The Colts are playing well. Phillip Rivers is doing a good job. I hate to say it. I want the Raiders to make the playoffs, but I think the Colts are going to beat the Raiders. They're just too unpredictable, not playing consistently enough football. Jets versus Seahawks. Seahawks, man, I can't believe they dropped that game to the Giants. 17 to... Dude, the score was 8-5 after a half of football. 8-5. What are we watching? A hockey game here?
Boring as shit.
What kind of game is that?
Send them back to the minors.
5 never happens because they got a safety. They even got a safety and couldn't put points on the board after the safety. It was pathetic. But the Jets are just... The Jets were beating the Raiders. And in the last 3 seconds of the game, they let a long bomb touchdown happen because they blitzed. Anyway, the defensive coordinator has been fired for the Jets. I assume everyone will have been fired by the end of the season in New York. But so I think the Seahawks are coming out fucking pissed off about losing last week. They're going to kill the Jets. Packers, Lions. Packers by 10. I think the Packers are going to win by 10 points in that game. Aaron Rodgers may not even finish the game. That's how much they're going to dominate the Lions. Although the Lions have a decent team. Packers look incredible right now. Falcons, Chargers. The Chargers quarterback and their whole team, their defense too, especially, is going to be shaky and wondering if they even got into the right line of work. The Falcons have a strong team. They're not winning as many games as they should, but I think the Falcons are going to beat the Chargers this week because they're coming up and the Chargers are all, I think we're screwed. Washington at San Francisco 49ers. Now, this is two teams. Washington's making the... things happen. They're looking good. Alex Smith looks good. The 49ers, we're not sure if Jimmy Garoppolo is going to start this weekend, but their backup is not bad. Mullen is a decent quarterback. I think this is going to be a really close game, but I can't help but think that San Francisco playing at home, which their home right now, I think is in Tempe, Arizona, because there's the lockdown in the Bay Area. I think the 49ers are going to take that over Washington, but that's going to be a good game, one to watch close. If Washington is given 5 points, I might bet Washington. Saints, Eagles. Eagles are the biggest pile of flaming garbage I've ever seen. I don't think Wentz is going to even start the game this week. The second or third highest paid quarterback in the league, I think, is going to ride the bench, is how bad he's been playing. There's questions whether Drew Brees might play this weekend, even if he doesn't. The Saints, remember we talked about it, Taysom Hill, one of my favorite players, played great. He's won both of his all three of his starts. I think the Saints are rolling right now. I predict a big win, Saints over the Eagles in Philadelphia. Steelers, Bills. No clue, but I know that is the game of the week. That is going to be the best game to watch this week in Buffalo. It would be great if they were having a day like this, a nice snow blizzard football day. Buffalo, Pittsburgh. It's going to be real manly, hard-hitting, grit football, and whichever team shows up there with the most clenched teeth is going to win that game. And just for the sake of it, I'm going to say Bills. I'm going to say the Bills are going to hand the Steelers only their second loss of the season because they look really good and the Steelers are shaken up from that loss. Bills over the Steelers on Sunday night. And then on Monday, the Ravens at the Browns. The Browns had an amazing week last week, but Lamar Jackson is back. He was not happy about having to miss a game because of COVID-19. Again, Baker Mayfield, whatever you do, you did fantastic things last week. Whatever you do, Lamar Jackson will do it better, and the Ravens are going to win that one, but it's going to be another great game. So Sunday night and Monday night football games are off the hook. Definitely watch. Don't necessarily bet, but I'm going to. So the Ravens over the Browns and the Bills over the Steelers, and those two really spotlight fantastic, I predict very fantastic football games. And that is it. We will see how I do.
The picks. All right, buddy. Well, let's we'll see how you do. Everybody else, fucking bet wisely.
This would be a good place to put up my past results after I go through the picks. If
your
you can
past
throw that
results,
up on the screen.
so we know what we're up against here. Okay.
Throw it up on the screen.
All right.
With a picture of me looking neutral. Not happy, not sad.
But anxious to know whether or not you made the right choices.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, buddy.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening. And check out our Instagram page. We now have an Instagram at Bacon No Bacon. Thanks to everyone at Comedy Here Often for hooking us up. And
you can go to Comedy Here Often and see the various ways of listening to the podcast and check out some of their other content.
And we're on everything else, yeah. All right, man.
Cheers.
Good
Let
talk.
us know what you think. We always love the comments
We
in
do.
any of the platforms, on Podbean, on YouTube, on Spotify. And Spotify, I don't know, I have a little bit of a beef with them. I think they underpay their artists.
Oh, they definitely underpay
I've been seeing
their
a lot
artists.
through COVID. Have you been seeing those things on Twitter?
Yeah.
Like people in a band, like, oh, this song actually got 580,000 views on Spotify.
And when I get
we got a check for $60.
Yeah, that's it. I know. Every
That
time you
doesn't
get
seem fair.
anything from Spotify, it's like, here's 3 cents. Someone listened to your album. What? 3 pennies?
25,000 times, yeah.
Are you kidding me? This is insane. Yeah, no, Spotify doesn't pay for shit. It sucks.
How did they get that deal, I wonder?
How did they get what? I don't know how how or what, or I don't know who controls it, but it ain't fair. Anyways, we'll talk about it next episode, maybe.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Thanks,
bud.
everybody.
Take care,
Love
man.
Everybody. Have a good week.
See you, everyone.